And we're live.
And we're live at 11:07, our new start time for Feel Good Friday. Thanks to Smith starting us late. I'm telling you, I was here.
At least it sounds catchy. Live at 11:07.
11:07, live at 11:07. So it is a Feel Good Friday. I'm Paul Sullivan. Feel Good Friday brought to you by our buddy, our boss, our what else do we call? Well, we can't say everything we call him. Sometimes Sensei Billy W. Merritt brings you Feel Good Friday. Well, it's supposed to be at 11 o'clock every Friday morning. Occasionally at 11:07 on a Friday morning. So you'll notice I'm wearing Chicago Blackhawks. I'm wearing the red instead of the Cubby blue or the Chicago Bears navy blue. The Blackhawks aren't doing great either. It's a hockey team. I know Smith was like, hockey, what is that? It's a sport.
Funny enough, 2 or 3 nights ago, because I'm doing this crazy thing where I'm watching literally every anime coming out this season, I watched a show about hockey, an anime about hockey.
An anime about hockey.
And I was like, holy cow, this looks really hard.
I can't say I played like makeshift ice hockey. In other words, a long time ago when I was in high school, we went to there was a girl in my class, Joanna Floodstrom, and her family, they kind of lived out in the country and they had a pond and it would freeze over. So we played like with broomsticks, Okay. I mean, there were a few hockey sticks, but I mean, very few people actually put on ice skates. So I was like, I was in boots, like just snow boots. So, you're trying to run and it kind of looked like the cartoon, I'm sure. Your legs would be moving, but you wouldn't be. You just be this, trying to do it. But that was fun times. Long time ago, before Smith was even born. Hey, Candace, good morning to you. Candace chimed in at 11:07 because we didn't start until 11:07. So, or no, she chimed 11:08. Sorry, and because we didn't start until 11:07. So sorry for the late start. It happens, but hey, well, we'll make it up to you because Smith's going to do something special during the show. He doesn't know that.
You got it.
But I just,
I've got one topic.
All right, let's go. Smith. It's Smith's show to begin the show. It's all you, buddy.
Okay, so big news. YouTube is finally doing it. They are disabling the dislike button. Everyone keeps saying removing the dislike button. The dislike button is still going to be there, but dislikes are not going to be public to the viewer anymore. So essentially, they had done this test. I think it was like a month or so back. I don't know if it was for a full day. Some accounts, like, they didn't have the dislike button active.
I didn't realize there was a dislike button, so there you go.
Oh, wow. Well, the dislike button already didn't do anything on comments for years now. But now on the actual videos, like where you see the big blue bar and the little red bar beside it, like likes to dislikes, that's going to be going away visibly, at least. So they done this test.
Bunch of haters. Bunch of haters.
They done this test and came out and was like, yes, we found out through this small test we done that when people don't see the dislike button, they're less likely to use it. And it's kind of in my opinion, it's kind of a big duh. Like, when the dislike button doesn't work, people don't use it, of course. But
I got you. So if you're going to be a hater, you got to work a little harder. Is what they're trying to make you do. Work a little harder to be a hater. Bill Vincent, not a hater. He said good morning to us at 11:10, just 3 minutes after we started the show, by the way. Yeah, I'm going to keep throwing Smith under the bus. It was his fault. 11:07 start due to Smith's some technical malfunctions.
Yeah,
that's what I'm going to say. I was here bright and early, ready to go, waiting on him and going, can you fix this stuff? What's the deal? I thought you were like the man. He's clicking buttons, trying to do all kinds of fun stuff. But anyway, so did you use the dislike button?
Yeah, I used all the time.
You hater. Hater.
Here's one thing. This is the most obvious thing I can think of. A lot of people have said this, but like for tutorials, when you go to a tutorial, you basically know objectively whether or not it's going to work, because if it has 80% dislikes, it's a bad tutorial. People are telling you it doesn't work.
I get it.
A lot of people are mad, saying they're basically protecting the big brands and everything. Because did you ever see like the YouTube Rewind where they brought on a bunch of celebrities and stuff like that?
Nope.
Well, it got disliked a lot. Like it was YouTube's video they were putting out, and it got disliked into the ground. So now a lot of people are like, well, it's to cover stuff like that. They're saying it's to fight back against harassment against certain channels and stuff like that. So sort of the inclusivity type of deal. So that's the way they're putting it.
So let me get this straight. The show is called Feel Good Friday.
Feel Good Friday.
Feel Good Friday at 11 o'clock on Friday mornings. But today we start at 11:07 because of Smith.
You know what feels good? No dislikes.
And Smith, he brings up his topic to start off the Feel Good Friday show is the dislike button on YouTube.
It's true.
So if you're going to be a hater, you got to work a little harder. You got to be a harder hater, I guess, if you want to call it that.
I was going to save it for later, in my defense.
He was going to save it so he could finish the show on a bad note on the dislike button. Thank God we don't have a dislike. Or wait, do we have a dislike button?
It's not gone yet.
Jeez, oh man, there you go. See, now you just directed the attention to people to go. I can click the dislike button. Anyway, by the way, yesterday on a much more a serious note. Yesterday was Veterans Day. Smith, do you know someone who's a veteran? Do you know someone personally?
I can't think of anyone, to be honest. No,
you don't know anyone.
I'm sure I know someone.
Well, there's no anime veterans apparently.
Yes.
Otherwise, he would know that. Well, for all of you veterans, thank you very much for your service. We appreciate what you do to keep this country free. And you always hear the phrase "freedom isn't free," and it's so true. But people just take it for granted. They really do. And I'm definitely not going to open up the politics book. So I'll just leave that aside. But I wanted to just, again, say thank you very much to all the veterans out there. My son, Jack, he's a veteran. My dad was a veteran. Lots of uncles and lots of friends of mine, we're veterans, are veterans. So again, if you're a veteran or you know somebody who is, and by the way, this has always been kind of I don't want to say a sore spot, but it's always kind of bugged me. When I used to work on the radio, you had Memorial Day and then you had Veterans Day. And man, I tell you what, people will get touchy now. If you'd say thanks to the veterans, if you said that on Memorial Day, man, they would take it the wrong way. And I'm just kind of like, is there any bad day to say thank you to our veterans? I don't think so. Whether it's Memorial Day or, a Tuesday or a Feel Good Friday or, whatever. I mean, I think it's always a good day. But yesterday, the official holiday. So again, thank you to all of our veterans for your service, for keeping our country free. Certainly the best country in the world. I've said for a long time, I love America. I'm not very fond of Americans, or at least some of them, so that's always been my stance. Some people are just idiots. They just are. I mean, and I don't mean like you have to think like me, be like me, all the time. I'm just saying some people are idiots. So it's just the truth. Smith, I know you know this. You know somebody who's an idiot. Do not say me.
I know plenty of them.
See, he doesn't know any veterans, but he knows plenty of idiots.
I'm one of them.
So you see, the idiots are everywhere. But yesterday was Veterans Day. By the way, 2 weeks until Thanksgiving, 6 weeks until Christmas. Are you ready?
It's so close. It doesn't feel that close.
6 weeks until Christmas. That means 7 weeks until New Year's Eve. And if you're counting, 25 weeks until my birthday. Just throwing that out there. So I know you got to plan. I know Smith has to plan, for my birthday coming up in May, which means officially, I think as of tomorrow, I'll be 54 and a half.
Oh,
something like that. It's like 20, it'll be 26 weeks or something like that. Anyway, 54 and a half. I'm going to call it that. Like a 4 year, I'm 4 and a half. So I'm going to be 54 and a half, for the show. So let's get into it. Our beer of the week, pop it up there on the screen there, Smith. Don't be late on this one, even though the show was late. Just saying, 11:07 start time. Thanks, Smith. Beer of the week. You can't really see it in the picture. It's kind of dark.
Oh, do you want me to zoom in on Rasputin?
It's kind of dark. It's kind of hard to see that, but the beer is Old Rasputin. It is a dark, and man, when I say dark, I should have brought a glass. I sent him a picture that had a glass, but he opted to go with the 6-pack picture.
It was like so tiny.
Oh, okay. Well, this literally, the bottle, I'll flip it around the back of the bottle. All right. That's a brown bottle, but it's as black as coffee. This is a dark beer. By the way, it's brewed out of North Brewing out of California, or North Coast Brewing. Sorry. North Coast Brewing out of California. You can go to northcoastbrewing.com to find out some of the other beers they have. But this Old Rasputin, it's a Russian Imperial Stout, and it tastes like coffee. Do you like the iced coffee?
I do.
Yeah. It tastes like that. It has a little bit of hint of maybe like caramel or toffee. Oh, look at Smith. What are you drinking?
I'm drinking a mean bean right now. It's not iced, but it's
no. What is that?
It's a Java. I believe it's technically a Java by Monster.
Java by Monster.
It's pretty typical coffee plus energy.
Coming soon to theaters near you. Java by
It's a
Monster.
pretty sweet milky drink though.
It's a pretty sweet milky drink. That's what Smith has.
The
Mine is
Loca Mocha's probably closer.
Mine is not a pretty sweet milky drink. This is a very, very rich and it's pretty robust. I'll say that. That's a nice way. It's pretty overpowering, to be honest. It's pretty strong. Speaking of a strong, it is 9% alcohol by volume. So it's like twice. It's like 2 to 1. Like your regular beer is usually about 4.5 to 5. And this is 9. So be careful with this one. It is sold in a 4-pack. I think that's the main reason, because it's such a strong, it's imperial stout. But it's a very rich, big flavors, big flavors. But it does have that, stouts do this. And I don't know if you're a Monster, whatever you said it was, bean, something.
Mean Bean.
Mean Bean.
The other one's Loca Mocha.
Loca Mocha. Yeah. I like that one. That's a movie title right there. Loca Mocha. But the stouts are usually like, they have kind of a warming feeling when you drink it. Does the Mean Bean have a warming effect?
No, I'm afraid not.
It's just the rich, sweet, yummy goodness
Yes,
of Mean Bean. Okay. Well, check out northcoastbrewing.com for more on the Old Rasputin Imperial Stout and some of the other beers that they make. So the holidays, we talked about that the holidays are right around the corner. So Smith, what's one of your favorite holiday treats?
One of my favorite holiday treats.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Hopefully I'll know what it is.
I half of me wants to say no matter what the holiday is, I just want blueberry cake. But let's try to think of something.
I don't think I've had blueberry cake.
Is
that like a blueberry muffin, but just like a big cake?
Yeah. Blueberries, icing. I mean, pretty standard, but very, very good. Like them with actual blueberries. The thing that's coming to mind is those little like Christmas tree cookies. They're kind of like the size of a gingerbread man.
That doesn't really narrow it down.
I think it's a sugar cookie.
A standard sugar cookie. By the way, do you like your sugar cookies? Do you like them with frosting or just the sugar?
I like them with frosting.
He's a frosting guy.
I'm thinking of what are those confetti cookie things
confetti
called?
Cookies?
What are they called?
Not a clue. My mom, if my mom's on here, she probably isn't, because she probably turned it on at 11 o'clock and we weren't on. So then she went, "Oh, no show today." So sorry, Mom. You can throw Smith under the bus again. So what is that? Which
these funfettis? Funfetti cookies. They're so
funfetti. Oh, the store-bought ones.
Yeah.
Funfetti. Okay.
I mean, you can make them, but yeah, store-bought usually.
Funfetti. Yeah, those are good. Bill Vincent said homemade pumpkin pie. Oh yeah. Now mincemeat pie. I gotta say, I haven't had mincemeat pie as an adult. So I mean, obviously, being 54 and a half, it's been a long time since I tried it. Have you had mincemeat pie, Smith?
I have not. As long as he's saying pumpkin pie, I'm gonna say sweet potato pie though.
Yeah, that's sweet potato pie. That's a southern thing. It is. I mean, not that I'm sure there's somebody up north that makes a sweet potato pie, but mincemeat is, that I recall, I didn't care for it when I was a kid.
So what exactly?
I'm not really sure. I think it's meat that's been minced and they put it in a pie shell. Does that work? Meat that's been minced. I don't even know if minced is a word. Mince meat pie.
Interesting.
So you got the definition over there? Did you look it up?
Let's see. I was just pulling up some pictures first.
Mince meat pie. I mean, it kind of looks like a pot pie. Kind of.
It does kind of look like a pot pie.
I mean, if it's like a pot pie, I'm all in there, Bill. But what I recall mincemeat pie, I don't recall liking it when I was a child. Mary Stage said, "My grandmother's homemade stuffing." Yes, and notice she uses the word stuffing. Yeah, I'm gonna. That's a northern thing, by the way. Some people in the South make stuffing. Most of them make dressing. Do you know the difference, Smith?
I do not.
Okay, all right. The dressing that you're used to here in the South, it's like that yellow. It's kind of like a yellowy, breaded. It's got now. Some people actually put chicken because it's easier to get. So that they'll make a chicken and they'll put chicken in the dressing because it's easier. But other people will put the actual turkey in it. But dressing and stuffing is totally different. Dressing is much. What's the word I'm looking for? It's moisture or more moist. Is moisture a word? Moisture, not moisture, but moisture. It's more
dry.
moist. Yeah. There you go. Yeah, it's less dry. Yeah, thank you very much for that English class clarification there, Smith. The dressing is less dry. Stuffing typically, unless you put it in the bird. Okay, because if you put it in the bird, then it'll get all mushy, and it'll be more not dry. Is that more moist? Yeah, I can say more moist that way. It'd be more moist.
All right, here's the answer. Though recipes for mincemeat pie vary greatly, it is broadly a semi-savory pie made from ground meat, often beef or lamb, stewed with fruits like raisins, cherries, apricots, and apples, and traditional pie spices and flavorings like cinnamon, nutmeg, clove, brown sugar, or molasses.
All right, now wait. I'm gonna have to get some clarification from Bill. Bill, he said that his mom made it every year. Every year for Thanksgiving, made mincemeat pie. So, Bill, did your mom the mincemeat pie that she made? Did it have raisins and fruits and stuff in it?
A lot.
Did it have raisins and fruit and stuff in it, or was it just like
nutmeg,
pot pie?
Clove, brown sugar, molasses.
Because I like shepherd's pie. Have you ever had that? Shepherd's pie is good. That's like a meal. It's not like a sweet pie. That's like a meal pie. Like shepherd's pie is Irish. That's really good. But mincemeat. So I'll just wait for building in the clarification.
Of course.
No, we're not going to sit here and start the Jeopardy theme. Do. Waiting on Bill. Do. No, we're not going to do that. Bill, if you are still watching though, do you recall your mom's mincemeat pie having raisins or fruit and stuff in it, or was it just kind of a meat? Oh, he said it had the fruits. Had the fruits in it. So meat and fruits. See, maybe that's what turned me off. Meat and fruits in a pie shell. Yeah. What do you think, Smith? You give it a shot? Give it a go?
I'd try it.
I
would try. I'll try anything. Pretty much.
There it is. Yeah. So. Well, all right. So maybe we can get somebody here in the South to make mincemeat pie. I know we can get plenty of people in the South to make sweet potato pie, which now I've had sweet potato pie. I won't say that I don't like it, but I like way better. I like the sweet potato crunch. That's good. You know what the difference is, Smith?
Not really.
Sweet potato crunch. It's like a sweet potato crunch souffle or something like that, but it has that thick. I mean, we're talking like a good inch layer of like brown sugar and nuts, and I mean it's all the sweetness, and so it makes it really, really good. That's really good. I really like the sweet potato crunch. That's awesome. But I have had sweet potato pie, and it's okay. But I would still prefer pumpkin. It's hard to pick my favorite pie of all time because I really do like a lot of different ones. But pumpkin, that's always the one when fall comes around. That's the one I'm always looking for.
And pie really varies in quality, like anything else.
So what would be your favorite pie then? I know you said blueberry cake. So what would be your favorite pie?
My favorite pie. I'd probably go. Can I cheat and go with a cobbler instead?
Of course. Why can't you just answer the question? No. Smith has to go off center.
No, I'm actually,
there's a million pies out there, and Smith he can't give me one. Can I cheat a little and go with a cobbler?
No, I'm probably.
Why do I ask you questions?
I'm probably gonna go cherry pie.
Cherry pie. Okay.
Classic.
Pretty standard. There you go. Pretty standard. Classic. That's great. I mean, I love cherry pie, apple pie.
Like a sweet potato pie cooked by my grandma, because her sweet potato pies are literally perfect. That beats out pretty much anything else.
So now, if you can give me what's like the size of the pie that your grandma does she make, like the bigger pie, or she like those smaller ones in the aluminum, whatever you call foil pans or whatever? Are they smaller? Are they like 7 to 9 inches? Or are they those big honking ones when she makes them?
I'm thinking smaller. It's been a couple years, but I'm thinking the smaller one.
The smaller, yeah. I mean, I'm used to my mom would make, and again, if my mom was on the show, if we were on time, if Smith would have got us started on time, my mom would be the perfect person for this show, and she's not watching. So maybe somebody can message her or something. But she would make. I want to say it was a 9-inch pie pan, the glass ones. I think I think the standard was like a 9-inch one, but she used to make all kinds of pies. I mean, she'd make coconut cream. And do you like coconut?
I like coconut.
I love the bottom of a coconut cream pie, and I like whipped cream. But I mean, I like a lot of stuff that my mom made. She's a great baker, but I do not like meringue. You know what that is?
I just tried it for the first time a week ago.
Did you like it?
It has a weird texture.
Yes, it does.
After the first bite, I was good with it.
Now, but if you eat it when it's made fresh, then maybe the consistency is a little bit better. But man, like the next day, it starts to get that rubbery kind of thing going on.
Okay, I should probably give like a clarification. Well, not clarification. I'm the guy who will like buy the jalapeno yogurt. Like
What?
I'm just saying, like that's the depth of weirdness in foods that I will try. So
So, man, oh God, I can't even. Ugh.
they have it in Walmart, in our Walmart.
Jalapeno yogurt,
Mm.
man. So you just eat it like out of the container?
Yeah,
Ugh.
yeah, it was pretty good.
Man, I don't know.
I
That
mean,
just,
it wasn't my favorite thing, but
I mean, I've never had it. I mean, now is it like super spicy, like super hot, or is it just a hint?
not to me. But I mean, I'm also the guy who like hands someone a jalapeno chip, and I'm like, it's not really spicy, and they're like, oh my god, it's
Like,
so
I'm
spicy.
crying over here,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
I'm crying.
You babies.
So Smith just likes the food that makes you cry.
Yes.
Well, pumpkin pie was absolutely one of the things that I look forward to when it comes fall. And I know like a lot of people, they just kind of immediately put it in the Thanksgiving category.
Yeah.
But like you said, now, I mean, you can buy, a lot of different pies year round now,
Yeah.
at the stores, and bakeries make them and stuff like that. So yeah, I definitely cheat when it comes to pie. I'll buy a pumpkin pie if there's one, if there's like grocery stores that their bakeries will make them. I'll buy those year round. I love those. So hey, Sabrina, also known as Sunny D. That's what she was called on the radio, and she worked with me a long time ago. Oh, I mean, not so long, because she's not as old as me, so and I don't want to give her age out. But Sunny D, tuning in from Panama City Beach, down in Florida. So hey, thanks for joining us there, Sunny, or Sabrina, whichever way you want to call her. Jalapeno yogurt sounds awful. I'm right there with you. I am right there with. We can just get all the jalapeno yogurt and give it to Smith. He loves that stuff. Hey, my mom's on the show. Hey, sorry I'm late. Not to worry, Mom. So were we. That's probably why you probably chimed in there, and then we weren't on the air because Smith was, I don't know. What were you doing anyway?
I was looking at my stocks.
Looking at his stocks. That's important. At 11 o'clock in the morning on a Friday, when it's time for Feel Good Friday, he's
Every
like,
day.
hey, checking out my stocks, man. So, well, how are the stocks doing?
Overall, I'm up almost 17%. I believe that's since January. I think the only thing that's in the negative right now is here's where I'm gonna admit that I make risky, crazy decisions. I have like 5 shares of AMC. That's down. Just waiting on that short squeeze. Hopefully, hopefully it happens. It'll happen, or I'll be holding it forever.
By the way, good morning to Rob Hurst, who's joined us, and he comments with jalapeno beer. Though I've had that, I don't like it. I don't. I mean, because I don't like the spicy, like the burn your mouth stuff. I don't like that stuff.
Do you like a spicy Bloody Mary?
I have had. I mean, I don't really drink Bloody Marys. I've had them like if I go to a restaurant, on a Sunday brunch or something like that. I mean, I've had them and they're okay. I mean, I'm much more on the conservative side. When I go to brunch, I want the mimosa. I mean, the lighter thing, the orange juice and champagne. I like that way better than the Bloody Mary to me. But the jalapeno beer, I can't remember what brand it was. I want to say it was Shock Top. Shock Top had a jalapeno wheat beer or something like that, and it would. I'm sorry, I thought it was just disgusting, because I'm like, you would drink it, and a lot of times, you drink something when when your mouth is hot, you eat something hot, you take something to drink, right?
Right.
Well, this beer, you would take a drink of the beer, and then you'd be like, my mouth's on fire.
Even worse.
So it's just gross. I mean, I didn't like it. So Sabrina, by the way, says spicy is a no, and by the way, she used like 5 or 6 of the O's. By the way, scroll back up a little bit if you will, Smith, to William H. Vincent Jr. And I'm so glad that he let me say Bill, because that's what I called him my whole life. He said every year it was apple, pumpkin, cherry, mincemeat, and peach. Wow, man, look at the number of pies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Man, oh man, wow. For Thanksgiving at my Uncle Tom's house. So lots of pies for the Vincent family, but they had a big family too. So I guess I can't really say anything. I think there were Bill. You'll have to help me out here, but how many were in the family, including mom and dad? Was there like 9? I think there were 7 kids. I think I lost count. My memory's 54 and a half. Somebody keeps saying that during the show. 54 and a half years old.
You should make it a gag.
54 and a half. But it's been a long time since I've seen the whole Vincent family. Trust me, a long time ago. So we were talking about the foods, the treats, if you will, that are good for the holidays. So your favorite holiday treat. By the way, I said, well, what was your favorite holiday treat? But I didn't really, I didn't say food. So, I mean, maybe some people, their holiday treat is, decorating the Christmas tree. Maybe that's a treat for them.
I do love decorating Christmas tree.
Do you?
Yeah, it's fun.
I gotta say, I did when I was a kid. I thought it was way cool, and being like the kid who could put the star on the top or the angel on the top, depending on what your family used. That was always pretty cool.
It is a little more tedious than I remembered it.
Yeah. Now, do you guys use a real tree or fake tree?
It's a fake tree. It's a smaller one. We don't have like the gigantic one.
Now, you say a smaller one, so like how tall are we talking?
I think it's like 4 or 5 feet, something like that.
Oh, that is small. I got to say that's a small tree. I mean, that's pretty small. I was thinking maybe 6 or 7. Like the big, huge, really tall trees are big. Hey, I was off by 1. Bill said 10 in the Vincent family with mom and dad. So there were 8 kids. I missed one of them in my quick count. It wasn't like I had a time to study. I mean, it was completely off the top of my head. But my mom said making Christmas cookies and candy. That's always been fun. I do that with my grandkids. And that's always just a fun kind of tradition, if you will, making cookies, homemade cookies and then decorating them. So like that. The sugar cookies, by the way, my sister Janet is not watching, but I know she's going to get a kick out of this. I am the king of cookie decorating. I'm just saying the sugar cookies. Now I'll take like 30 minutes to do one, but it's a work of art when I get done. My mom has all those, like all the little confections or whatever, the sprinkles are pretty common. The different colored sugars, those are pretty common. But like there'd be red hots, and there'd be like little tiny gold balls, little silver balls, the colored balls. There'd be the bigger ones. It was just all kinds, little stars, little hearts. There'd be, anything and everything you could think of. She had, and it was always so much fun as a kid. So, and by the way, if you don't do that, start a tradition for the holidays with your family. It's something that little kids will remember that. Do you remember was there a tradition in your family, Smith?
Something other than the typical. We would usually just go to my grandma's place, grandma, aunt, and uncle, that type of deal. Trying to think if there was anything other than just cooking all day. I know for a lot of the holidays we would do grilling. For Christmas, we would usually be inside, just cooking and watching TV and stuff like that, I guess. Just cozy, hanging out with the family.
It's so funny when you talk about Southern traditions and then Northern traditions. So on Christmas, around the holidays, Smith is we're probably grilling out, because it's the South. We don't really get that cold. Where up north, it's like, nah, you pretty much put your grill away for like 5 months, unless you're a diehard. My brother-in-law Brian, now he's a diehard. He'll do, middle of winter, he'll pull that tarp off. He'll light the grill up, grill a couple steaks or chicken or something like that. He definitely is a grill master. But probably for me, like I said, the Christmas cookies, making Christmas cookies, that was always fun. My mom would make homemade caramels. That was always fun to do. You got to stretch she'd make like this big blob of. That stuff is just like pure sugar too. But it was it delicious. And you'd stretch it and she'd roll it and you'd stretch it and then you'd wrap it. So just a lot of little things like that. Decorating the tree was always a fun one. Did you, how old were you when you started wrapping your own presents?
I started wrapping my own presents?
Yeah. Well, not like gifts for you. The gifts you buy.
Okay. I was a little confused for a second there.
Everything is off center with Smith. I just can't. I can't do it just a direct, straight question and answer.
It's impossible.
This is work, folks. It's supposed to be Feel Good Friday, and it's work. I'm telling you, it's work.
I'm just an element of chaos. It was probably pretty late, to be honest.
So what you're saying is you still don't wrap the presents that you buy, do you? Your mom does it for you, doesn't she?
No, I wasn't
yes,
saying
she does.
I wasn't saying that.
I bet she does.
I don't think it was it wasn't until I was at that age where I had like actually had a job for years and had some idea of what would be like an actual useful gift.
So 3 years ago.
More like 6 or 7 years
ago.
6
or 7 years ago. So in his early 20s, he decided maybe I'll start to wrap my own gifts.
We would always come together, like me, mom, and dad, and sort of decide together as to what would be a good gift for the other folks. I would help them wrap the presents, but I was never buying them until I was like into my 20s.
By the way, I can't claim. I'm good with the sugar cookies. I can decorate a sugar cookie like a pro, but wrapping gifts, Not so much. I'm not very good at it.
You know, it's one of those things that I was horrible at for years, and then one day I was like, I'll just look up a YouTube video.
Of course you did.
Oh
wow!
And then I realized it was super easy.
That's the difference, folks. You know, I would just struggle. The struggle was real.
Yeah.
The struggle was real when I was a kid. There was no YouTube. There was no tutorials. You just had to wing it. You had to figure it out. And I'm telling you, my family got some really crappy rap gifts.
You know, it's funny though. It makes me wonder, like things we would used to actually go to people for. Like how many of the things we would used to like ask people for advice for and to help us with things and actually spend time learning together.
Actually spending time with other people.
No, we just Google it.
Actually being social and spending time with other people.
Yeah.
You know, Smith now he just like locks himself in a basement. I've got my internet. I'm good.
It's just computer and guitar.
Sabrina, by the way, said watching football, being lazy in the afternoons. That's a pretty good. That one's probably a pretty common one. Watching football, especially on Thanksgiving, you eat that big meal, and then there's football all day long. I mean, so you know, and by the way, I don't know if how many people actually are typically at your Thanksgiving dinner or meal or whatever.
Let's see.
You don't have to count them all. Just approximate. Wow. Just around the block.
I am a madman. Upwards of 20, like 20 tops, probably. That's what I'm thinking.
So about 20 people?
Yeah, probably a little less, but somewhere around there.
All right. So how many chairs are in the TV room?
Not 20.
Exactly. So were you one of those where you're trying to like eat through the food really fast so you could get a good seat in the living room? Or were you just like, I don't care. I'm just going to chill. I'm going to relax, eat my meal at my own pace?
I was usually pretty chill. Later on, I would be the guy who would like show up with my computer in the
Oh, really?
That's me.
Oh, man.
No, we would have like there were either 3 or 4 like bar stools. There was a big couch, a chair recliner. Of course, either my uncle or my grandpa would always get the chair. There was no arguing about that. But I think there was one of those little fold out bed, like makeshift bed things on the opposite end of the chair, on the opposite end of the couch. So that was our seating. Was our seating environment.
And Smith was just sitting cross-legged on the floor with his laptop.
Fighting zombies.
Holiday memories. Yes, the joy of family. Where's Sean at? Oh, he's over there in the corner on the laptop.
No, we would get in. We would be wrestling and fighting each other with
for the laptop, right?
No. We'd be fighting each other with grandma's pillows.
Oh, literally, like you were actually fighting, like swinging pillows and stuff. Okay.
Yeah. We were still at the age where we would fight with sticks outside and stuff like that.
So. Boy, I remember that, playing with a stick. Yeah. I mean, kids nowadays are like, well, what? Yeah, like go find a stick, play with it.
Yeah, I wonder how much. I wonder how weakened my imagination is sometimes
because of that
these days. Yeah.
Well, hey, if you need an imagination, all you got to do is look it up on the internet. It's like, ta-da!
How to be creative.
Bill, by the way, chimed in. Reused comics and newspapers were the cheapest and easiest wrapping paper. I did that a couple times. I did do that. Did you ever do that?
I would usually I think I would do like a base layer of that. I know a couple of times we would definitely be, or at least I would be the person who would make the joke of, haha, you're going to have to dig through 18 layers of paper.
Oh, you were that guy. Okay. Yeah. The other thing that it always bugged me. I did do it one year. I did it myself one year, but not now as an older person, now, 54 and a half. I'm 54 and a half now. So now it kind of bugs me, but like, I hate it when people put like the gift is this big. Okay. And they put it in a box this big.
Yeah.
Then they put that box in a box this big.
Yes.
And then they put that box in a box this big.
Yes.
And they put that box, and you get the idea.
Yeah.
So it's like 5 or 6 boxes later. By the way, all the boxes are wrapped
individually.
Yes. So it takes you 10 minutes just to get through all the boxes.
It's good to keep them from figuring out what it is, though.
Well, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, my gifts now they're usually pretty easy. It's either an envelope. So they know, I wonder what that is. Yeah, it's an envelope. Probably got money in it. Either that or maybe it's really hard to wrap a 6-pack of beer. So usually it's a 6-pack with a bow on it.
With one missing.
It's like, yeah, that's right. I had to make sure it was okay. I made sure it was good. I needed one for the, beer of the week.
Yes.
Speaking of, again, I'll bring that up again. Old Rasputin is the beer of the week. Try that out again. It's a Russian Imperial Stout, 9% alcohol though, so it's pretty strong. Bill has chimed in again. 50 to 60 or more at my Uncle Tom's every year. Wow, that's a lot of people for Thanksgiving. Wow. That's a whole time. Boy, you thought 20 was a lot. I mean, triple that. Holy cow. I can't even imagine the seating.
I walked into a room with 50 or 60 people one time. I immediately walked out.
Of course. That's that, Smith, he just kind of walked in, took one step in, turned around. Where's my laptop? 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 He just kind of becomes Rain Man. Where's my laptop? Where's my laptop?
Oh God.
My sister Barb, my mom said my sister Barb says that you can wrap my gift in anything. But yeah, I was never very good at wrapping. I mean, I would try, I wouldn't just go like this and then twist it, put a thing around it. I mean, I'd try, but like now my girlfriend Brenda, she's really good at it. I mean, she does the whole, the what do you call it? The ribbon, like and she'll do the thing with the scissors. And she'll do where it'll twirl or curl or whatever you call it.
Yeah, I've never done that.
I mean, she does the whole. the whole thing. She'll tie it, around like the four sides and have the bows and all that. I mean, just the whole thing. I mean, I don't know how long it takes her to wrap stuff. I mean, I'm a quick wrapper. I'll say that. I'm not a good one, but I'm a quick one. By the way, I'm talking about WRAPPER. That kind of gift wrapper. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not a good other wrapper either. I'm just saying. So Bill said my big family sat in the living room, dining room, set up 4 to 5 tables in the basement. Well, you got 50 to 60 people. Yeah, you better have some chairs, lots of chairs and tables. So that's certainly, now that is a really big family gathering. So very fun. Hey, let's move on to the classic rock revisit for this week. It is Neil Young's 76th birthday today. Oh, wow. 76 years old. Now, Neil Young, I have to admit, I'm not, I would never consider myself a huge Neil Young fan. I mean, he's had tons of music. He's a great songwriter. His voice is unique. I'll say that it's unique. Now he can have some of the, like when he sings the softer ballads and stuff like that, it's very, I guess it's emotional. His voice can be emotional. He's also well known for using feedback, guitar feedback.
Oh, right.
That type of thing. And he's also known as kind of being a rebel. He's been very political, kind of always has his own viewpoint on things, kind of anti the establishment a lot, things like that. But it's his 76th birthday today. But I want to go back. This was released nearly 50 years ago. So it'll be 50 years coming up in February. In February of 1972, the album was called Harvest. And in the United States in 1972, it was the largest selling album of the year, for good reason too. Really good stuff on here. A lot of people that would say they're not a Neil Young fan, you got to love the song Heart of Gold. I mean, that's an absolute classic. Smith may not know who I'm talking about.
I was hoping I could make you mad with this, but you said you weren't that big of a fan.
All right, so go ahead.
The only song I actually know by Neil Young is Cowgirl in the Sand, and I only found that one because there's a City in Color cover of it, which is really good. They're both really good. It's a great song.
Like I said, I like some of his music, but he has a huge catalog. A huge catalog with Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, when he was in that band. Then he did his solo stuff, and he put out an album. I mean, man, it felt like every year it felt like he was putting out an album. It wasn't every year, but man, it didn't feel like it. I guess because his albums had such good songs. They were the singles and things like that he would release. They would last for such a long time. So it just felt like there was always a Neil Young song on the radio. When I was growing up, and again, Heart of Gold, they played really overplayed. It's a great song, but it was definitely overplayed. And on that same album, the song Old Man, and that one, now that I'm 54 and a half years old, I can understand that one a little bit more. That song's a little more fitting to me. But then the other one, and Smith, this one is the one that I want you to go look up.
Okay.
It's just over 2 minutes. The song is just over 2 minutes long. And so you think, well, now what can you do with 2 minutes? Think about that. Think about that, Smith. What can you do with 120 seconds? It doesn't really feel like you could do a whole lot with it. 120 seconds. But the song that I want you to look up, that I want you to listen to after the show is called "The Needle and the Damage Done."
Okay.
And man, is it a great song. I mean, well written. It's softer now. It's a softer, more serious tune. Now, you can kind of get the idea. The needle and the damage done. He's talking about drugs,
right?
And all the, he had a lot of friends, and again, this was written in 1972, so you had, the late 60s, all the deaths with, all the psychedelics and heroin and all, all those kind of drugs, where we lost a lot of people. So I don't know who it was inspired by. I don't know the background on that. If it was like one person inspired it, or if it was just so many that were lost that it inspired that song. But The Needle and the Damage Done by Neil Young. It's on that album, Harvest. Really, really good stuff. And there's some other good songs in there too. Again, the album, best-selling album in 1972 by Neil Young. So go check that out. By the way, a couple tidbits on that album too. James Taylor actually sang background on Old Man and on Heart of Gold. And Linda Ronstadt did some backing vocals on that album. So, I mean, he had some, and these were big stars in the day. I mean, back in the day, James Taylor, early 70s, James Taylor was the man. I mean, he was the softer, folky kind of, folk singer-songwriter, I guess what they call him now. But, really big names on this album. And boy, does it come through. So check it out. Classic Rock Revisit, Neil Young's 1972 album, Harvest. Really good stuff. And of course, perfect for the fall theme going on. So released almost 50 years ago. Again, 50 years ago, and coming up in February. So really good stuff. So did you, when you think of Neil Young, now you said the only song that you knew, but when you think of Neil Young, what's the first thing that pops into your head? I mean, is there a visual? Is there an audio thing that pops? Like, do you hear a sound? Do you see the guy? What is that for you?
There's a Neil Young reference in a Leonard Skinner song, right?
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to think of
Sweet Home Alabama.
Sweet Home Alabama. Yeah. That's pretty much. I mean, between that and Cowgirl in the Sand, once again, great song.
You're probably right. That's probably the biggest reference to Neil Young is the song that he doesn't sing. Is the Sweet Home Alabama reference. You're probably right.
Will remember.
Yeah. Southern man don't need him around. Yeah, it wasn't the best English, it wasn't the best English, but it was like moisture or something like that. But anyway, happy birthday to Neil Young, 76 today. And check out the album again, Classic Rock Revisit, called Harvest. And something odd. Now, Neil Young, and this just proves that if you're a talented musician, you can get the girls. I'm telling you, you can get the chicks dig the rock star is what I'm saying. He is married to Daryl Hannah. Now, do you know who she is?
I do not.
You probably don't, because Smith's like 11 years old.
Google
something like that. No, Daryl Hannah, her big break was in the movie Splash with Tom Hanks. Beautiful woman. And she's, I know she's getting up there in years too. She might be a little older than 54 and a half. That's how old I am, 54 and a half. But Daryl Hannah, beautiful lady. See, Bill Vincent just immediately typed the word Splash. So he remembers. She was in Splash. She was in some other movies that weren't quite as popular, but Splash was definitely the one that, get this, made the biggest splash in the movie business. See what I did there?
Probably showing enough of that.
but she is a very, very, very pretty lady. And she married Neil Young just a couple of years ago. So, I think it was 2016, 2018, something like that. Just a few years ago. Anyway, it was probably within 5 years ago. So if he's 76 today, that means he was in his 70s and he got Daryl Hannah to marry him. See what I'm talking about? Yeah. See, the chicks dig the rock stars. They do. I'm telling you. She was also in Steel Magnolias, according to Bill. I don't know if she was. I don't remember her in that one. Was she? Was she in Steel Magnolias? I'm trying to remember. No, yes, she was. Yeah. I do remember now. She was in that. She was also in Kill Bill. Maybe that's probably one you know.
Oh yeah.
She was the blonde villain.
Yeah.
In Kill Bill. So you got to get a little more modern, with Smith, him being 11 years old and all. No, he's not quite 11.
11 and a half.
Yeah, he's 11 and a half,
Yeah, no, I remember her.
So you turned what, 29? 28, 27? 29. So he just turned 29, and that's what he knows Daryl Hannah as, the eye patch lady in Kill Bill.
Exactly.
That's how he knows Daryl Hannah. Look at that. Can you believe that? And that doesn't even make her look nice.
Yeah, she looks pretty evil as
Yeah.
as she
Splash,
is.
Splash, 1983 or 4 or 5 or something in the 80s anyway. When she was very young, she was very a very 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 pretty lady. Anyway, yeah, Bill said that she played the hairdresser hired by Dolly Parton in Steel Magnolias. I forgot about that she was in that until he brought that up. So thanks for the reference there, Bill. So as we talked about earlier in the show, if you missed the beginning of the show, by the way, again, 11:07 start today. Thanks, Smith.
You're welcome.
Just saying that, throwing that out there. If you missed the earlier part of the show, when we talked about Veterans Day being yesterday, we talked about 2 weeks from Thanksgiving, or really 13 days. I know how Smith's all technical and stuff. So 13 days from Thanksgiving, 6 weeks from Christmas, 7 weeks from New Year's Eve, and then like 25 weeks until my birthday. So until such time, I'll be 54 and a half. So I'm just throwing that out there. So before we close out the show, Smith, what's the thing that you most look forward to around the holidays?
I think I most look forward to around the
Do not
holidays.
say your laptop.
No, I'm not. Probably just eating grandma's cooking as long as I get a chance to.
Eating grandma's cooking, that's always a good answer.
Between that and just riding the bike in nice cool weather. I mean, I know that's a simple thing, but man, there are a few things as relaxing. This year I'll probably do more just going out with my camera in the nice weather, nice cool weather.
So once again, alone, not around people, riding his bicycle, taking his camera, taking photos alone.
Maybe I'll watch that Christmas episode of
Candace threw you under the bus.
Sleep.
Yeah, that's right. And she knows what you're gonna do. Yeah, he's talking all this trash. Oh, I'm gonna go ride my bike. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go take pictures in the woods. I'm gonna do this. Yeah, you're gonna be asleep, is what you're gonna be. Okay. Asleep with his laptop. That's what he's gonna do.
Here's a funny thing. This will probably tell you like how bad I am about sleeping in.
Okay.
And this is actually pretty useful if you have the same issue. I now have an alarm app called Alarmy, and I didn't figure out for a while.
Alarm me?
Alarmy. ALARMY. Yes.
Alarmy. All right.
Yes. And first off, you can set up these different types of missions. My mission is a QR code. I have to go to my bathroom and scan the QR code on the back of my Irish Spring body wash to get the alarm to stop. You can also go into the settings and set it up so that you cannot turn your phone off or dismiss the alarm. So there's nothing you can do to stop it. You must go to your bathroom. I put my clothes in the bathroom the night before. I have to do everything possible to make it as easy as possible to wake up, or I just will sleep in.
So all right, so you're going to download Alarmy.
Yes.
Set this thing up where you have to go scan the QR code of the Irish Spring box.
It can be any QR code, of course,
for it to turn off.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. That's all I can say. Wow. I don't really have a response. Just wow.
I also literally have like 7 alarms going off at once.
Maybe you could do this. Maybe just go to bed earlier.
I'm so bad at waking up.
Well, go to bed earlier. I mean, wouldn't that help?
I have been doing better. I actually got up this morning. I've been having to get up, so that obviously helps. Going to help my parents at the office job.
Okay.
But I've been getting up. I done my yoga this morning. I actually got my yoga done before I came to do my job, so that's a big accomplishment for me. That's usually doesn't happen. So I'm feeling pretty good about it right now.
So how long does it take you to do yoga?
I usually do a 10-minute. Sometimes I'll do 2 of them. I find, and this may be weird, but I find it's easier for me to do 2 10 minutes than 1 20-minute. I know that's in my head, but it helps me.
Hey, whatever works for you, dude.
Yeah.
Do you do yoga in silence, or do you play music?
I actually do, of course, pull up on YouTube the little follow along. I always go with either Sarah Beth Yoga or Yoga with Adrian. They're just relaxing.
And anything else, he just goes dislike, 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 dislike.
Yes, exactly.
The old dislike button I wasn't even aware of. That was on Facebook. Well, hey, hopefully you didn't dislike the show today. We got a little bit of a late start, but we hope we made it up for you. Made it up to you. with the show. So thanks you guys so much. Again, the North Coast Brewing Company, Old Rasputin. If you like the stouts, this is a good one. It's pretty strong, though. It's pretty robust. 9% alcohol. So check it out. You can go to northcoastbrewing.com for more information. Neil Young, always an excellent choice. The album is Harvest from 1972. Really cool stuff on there. It's really kind of some people refer to it as country rock or folk rock. So it's a much lighter album than his later stuff, where he really got into the heavier guitars and the distortion and all that type of stuff. But definitely worth the listen. And don't forget, what's the song you're supposed to go listen to, Smith? That's on the album. I knew he wasn't taking notes. I knew it.
I put it down.
He's like, yeah, sure, I'll do that. Yeah.
The Needle and the Damage Done. I got it right here.
All right, good. The Needle and the Damage Done. That's the song that that maybe you don't know. That's well worth the listen. So really good stuff. So again, thanks everybody for watching the show. Hey, if you're going to be drinking this weekend, the holidays or anytime, make sure that you got a designated driver. Please drink responsibly. Have a great weekend. We will see you next Friday. Cheers.